Hi, this is Lewis with Rosebud's Travels, and today I'm going to work on installing new brakes on Rosebud the Casita. First thing I'm going to do is show you the tools that are needed to do it, and then I'm going to jack up the trailer and get started. So let me show you the tools that are needed to do. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is use my impact wrench to take off the lug nuts to loosen them before I lift the tires off the ground, so that it's easier to undo them and the wheels aren't spinning. And then I'm going to put the trailer on jack stands, one on each side, on where the frame is doubled up on the back behind the wheel, and that's the proper place to jack, and it's the proper place to put the jack stands. Don't put them on the axle, and that will hold the trailer up while I work on it. So the other parts that you need to do a brake job are, these days they make up the assemblies for the brakes completely done. You don't have to mess with the springs and hooking them up and all that. It's all new components. This bolts on with like 4 bolts, so makes it easy to do. So I'm going to jack up the trailer like I said. I'm going to remove the drum, and then after I do that, I'm using my seal remover to remove the rear seals, and the front bearing just comes out. It's got a race and it comes out. And then I'm going to clean the grease out of those, and I'm going to reuse them. They're Timken bearings, and I think they're in good shape, and so I'm just going to reuse those. I've got a brake spoon to adjust the brakes. I've got some gasket maker stuff that you put on the grease seal around the outside to make it a tighter fit in the back. I've got some red and tacky number 2 grease. I've got a socket wrench to attach the brake assembly to the trailer, and I've got wire nippers to cut the wire, and I've got some strippers that I can strip it and then I can reconnect. I do have some connectors that are a solder connector. I don't have them right here, but I do have them, and basically I use my heat gun and it solders the connection and makes it watertight. That's what I'm going to use to connect the wires back together after when I put the new assembly on. So, and then I've got the grease brake part cleaner to clean everything up, clean the grease off the bearings. Is take my impact wrench, loosen all the lug nuts, and jack up the trailer, and in my case I'm going to take the drums to get them turned. I have a place where I can get them turned. You can buy them new if you want, but I'm going to try getting them turned, and it'll save a few bucks instead of buying them new. And we'll see if they are turnable. If they're not, then I'll just buy new ones. So there you go. This is the start of this video, and then I'll go loosen up lug nuts now, and we'll continue. Okay, I'm going to remove this drum, and I'm going to have them turned, and I found out from the place that's turning them that I don't need to remove the races from there, so I just have to remove the bearings and clean it up, clean the grease out of it, and then I can bring it in and they will turn it for me. So the first thing is, got to take off the grease cap, and you very carefully pry it off. And on the other side, the grease cap fell off somewhere along the road. This one did not. Okay, in this particular setup, I've got these clips that hold this nut from turning. There's also a setup where you have what's called a castle nut and a Carter pin that holds it from turning. There's two different types. This one is just a clip. So I'm going to take off the clip. I'm going to undo the nut. Okay, then the bearing pops out. And then you take the drum off. There we go. And then we need to take the grease seal off. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our grease seal puller. And slip it up underneath there. Grease seal is pulled. Bearing comes out. We're going to clean those up and reuse them. And I'm going to clean the grease out of here. I have some brake part cleaner, and we're going to clean that up and clean all the grease out. And then we're going to take it over to the place and they're going to turn the drums for me. So that's that. And this has to be cleaned up too, so that when we put on our new brake assembly and we re-grease the bearings, that it'll all be fresh grease on there. So there you go. I'm going to clean the bearing with brake cleaner. bearing looks okay so far. Okay, now it's time to change the brake shoe assemblies. I bought original Dexter equipment. I think I got it from Meat Trailer, I believe. And they are handed. So I've marked this. This is the passenger side. This is the driver's side. And you can tell by the way they're handed, they're exact opposite of each other. So you need to keep that straight. So now I'm going to go undo the 4 nuts on the back, pull it off, hook up the wires, and get this changed out. So I'm going to show you how that's done. Okay, good morning YouTube. Today I'm going to show you how to remove an older brake assembly and put on the new one. And the first thing we have to do is cut this zip tie right here that holds these wires, and that allows you to get the wires and cut them so that when you remove this, it's free to get out. And the other thing is there's 4 nuts back here. They're 11/16. You will need an open-end wrench. Socket doesn't work with most of them, so needs to be an open-end wrench. And so that's what we're going to do today. I won't be able to show you cutting the zip tie close up, but I explained it, so you'll know that's what's going to happen. Okay. So I'm going to cut the zip tie now. And then I'm going to cut the wire to the brake. I'm going to cut that one. And cut that one. There we go. So the brake's going to be free to come off when I get the nuts undone. So that's that. And get your 11/16 wrench. There's 4. There we go. Okay. I'm going to get the new drum, and we'll bolt the 4 new, comes with 4 new nuts. We're going to bolt that on. I slipped the threaded rods through the shock kit, and now I'm putting on the nuts by hand. So I'm getting stuff started. And I stripped the wires back a little more on the brakes, so that I'm using some connectors that have solder built into them, and heat it up with a heat gun and it solders the connection. So that's what I'm using. And it helps if the wire part of this one's a little bit longer, because the wires coming from the trailer are a little bit stiffer. So if you get a good wrap of this stranded wire on this side, that it works better. Changing out my glove. Got holes in the other ones. Oh, shoot. Gonna hook up the wires, put it in the middle of where the wire joint is, use the heat gun. There you go, got a watertight connection. Then I'm going to put a zip tie to replace the one I cut and tie that back down to that arm, and then we'll be ready for the drums. And I've had those turned at the mechanic, and I marked them for the side so I could keep track of the bearings. The bearings are matched to the races, and you want to keep them together. So I didn't remove the races from the drums. The guys turned them for me. My mechanic turned them. And then, so I'm keeping the same bearings at the same side. So this is driver's side, and the drum is marked as driver's side, and I have the bearings that are from the driver's side marked. And so once I pack them, and I'll I'll put a new outside seal on the drum, and then I'll slip that on, and then we can do we can start adjusting, and we can and I need to clean this area too before I put the tire on, so I'm going to do that. Okay, I'm going to hand pack the wheel bearings. There's a zillion videos on how to hand pack bearings on YouTube, so I'm not gonna do that over again. So if you need to know how to hand pack bearings, look up how to do that on YouTube, and I'm gonna do that, and then I will bring the drum and put the back bearing in and put the new grease seal in, and I'll show you that. And then the drum will be ready to put on, and then we can put the nut on and hold it on, and the drum will be all set. So I'm gonna go pack the bearings. I'm gonna get some gloves so I don't get grease all in my fingernails, and I'm gonna pack the bearings, and then we'll keep going. Okay, we're gonna put the bearing. We've cleaned it all up. These have been turned. We need to put the rear bearing in, and we're gonna put that bearing in now. They've been greased. There we go. So now I'm going to put a little bit of the make-a-gasket stuff around the edge of the seal. That helps assure that it doesn't come out and it doesn't leak. It's a recommended thing by some people. I've seen it in several videos. So we're going to put a little bit of this make-a-seal stuff around the edge of the seal. You don't have to put a lot. Just helps make a seal. And then we're going to put this flat, and it gets tapped in flat. I'm going to carefully tap it in, and it goes all the way down. Kind of equally. There we go. It's all the way down. Now we're going to put the wheel on, and then we'll put the outer bearing. Put the bearing. There we go. And we put the washer. put the nut. There we go. You tighten it up. You tighten it and then loosen it just a little. There you go. Okay guys, this is the passenger side of the Casita. Have the shock kit. You need a brake spoon like this to adjust the brakes. And there's room between this bracket and the adjustable thing, which is in this back hole, and you want to go up. You want to rotate it up. And there's room here to do that. You just got to get it at the right place. It's a tricky thing to find the cog on the thing. But that's how you do it. You can see that there's plenty of space. There's plenty of space between the bracket and the adjusting spoon to do this. This bracket being offset like that gives you room for that brake spoon to work. And that's how you adjust the wheel on the passenger side of the Casita. And you do, like I said, you have to get the feel, you have to get your spoon just exactly right on that cog. Come on. There it is. That's the magic spot right there. Oh, it's locked up now. So I need to go the other way. Got it too tight. Need to back it off. There we go. That should do it, actually. Yeah, I think that's gonna do it. I'll put the tires on, and I gotta kind of get them embedded into the drum. You gotta heat it up. You gotta drive it, get them heated up, and then kind of get bedded to the drum so that they conform to the drum. So that's one of my next steps. I got everything put back together. I adjust them, but that's the main thing I wanted to show you, is that you can adjust this easily with this tool. So that's it.